And welcome back to this 16th episode of Draft Day Dynasties. I'm C. Jackson Coward, the community manager here at Wolverine Studios, and I appreciate you joining us as always for our weekly streaming series showing off Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2022 and all the latest releases at Wolverine Studios. If you haven't seen any of our previous episodes, you can catch up on all of those on our YouTube channel, or you can catch us live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the official Wolverine Studios Twitch channel, as most of you here are doing right now live. As if today wasn't already busy enough with insane basketball news, we've got a fun episode planned tonight as we kick off our second season in Hawaii, probably tip-off rather, which I'm hoping goes a little better than the first season, where we ended with more losses than wins. Not what you'd like to see, so hopefully we can get off to a better start to this season. We'll be streaming the first game of the season against Portland, a school near and dear to my heart as a former PDX resident. And we'll see how much time we have near the end of the episode. Maybe we can get another game in there. Maybe we can look at the insights of that game. Chat about our rotation. Chat about Kevin Durant. We'll see. We'll see how the episode goes. So if you are in the chat, really appreciate you joining us. As always, those of you that are in the chat, I know there's a couple mainstays. Really appreciate you guys. And if you're a quiet observer every week and you don't hop in the chat, don't hesitate. Just say hello. Let us know you're here. You don't have to chat the whole time. You can come in and out. That's what Twitch is for. But just let us know if you're here watching. I want you guys to be my assistant coaches this time, especially as we're doing a game stream here, an actual sim on the stream. Would love to get your insights on what you think we should adjust mid-game. If you think, hey, you're noticing that somebody's scoring a lot and I haven't made the adjustment to keep them in the game, or somebody's in foul trouble, something like that. So really going to be relying on you guys for these in-game sims to help be the assistant coach, because I don't really trust my own assistant coaches here. So one thing also off the top, the really exciting news, if you're in the Discord or Reddit or on Twitter, you probably already saw this, but if you're not, we launched a new video series. The first episode of Draft Day Academy is already live on YouTube, so definitely check that out, maybe after the stream. But hey, if you're really excited to learn about the game, can't fault you for checking it out now. The first episode, well, the series as a whole is focused on helping newcomers and veterans alike learn the tips, tricks, and inner workings of Wolverine Studios' latest releases. And this first episode helps you walk through your own association, creating your own coach. So if you've watched this series and thought, hey, how could I do the same thing, but you're feeling a little intimidated, I think I know a video you should watch. So definitely check that out on YouTube. The first few videos will all be focused on Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2022. So if you like the series you're watching now, I think you're going to love what we have in store for that one. So check that out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the future. But anyway, enough of all that. Already 3-4 minutes into the stream here, so let's check out what we have in store for this start of the season with Hawaii. And Bill says, hello, game time. No more talking about practice. Bill channeling his inner Allen Iverson there. I love it. I know, right? It's been a while since we've actually had some game action. I know it's been a lot of recruiting. It's been a lot of talking about players that we didn't get. Unfortunately, you look down here, all of the time that I spent and that you spent, you loyal viewers following me through this recruiting journey, the reward at the end of it, the present underneath the tree, is Sean Kent, someone who I'm pretty sure I famously said does not fit the culture of Hawaii basketball. I would like to retract that. In fact, I'd like to pretend as though I never said it in the first place. But that's our big crown jewel there. So it is going to be nice to actually have some games to play, and can't play a game without a roster, right? So let's look at the roster that we have here. Just a quick look. Those of you who've been following along, you're very familiar with this team, but in case we have some newcomers in here, let's see what we're working with here. So I like to sort by overall, as you guys know, and I'll sort by position just so you guys can see. Couple decent point guards here. We talked about in the last episode whether I'm going to give the nod to Willis or Tennell early on. I'll show you guys what I decided to do in just a second here. But that's really all we have at point guard, and that's a bit of a concern because the 1-3-1 zone, you do want a guy up there at that first spot, the one spot, right, who's going to be a proficient player. I do like the steal ratings on these two guys at the 60 and 70 for them, but overall their defense is just okay. Neither one of them is really a capable scorer, so I think this point guard battle is really going to be a subplot of the entire season. And then you come down here to the wings, Bryan McInnis and Bernard Gilbert, the B brothers here. I am very excited for Bernard Gilbert. I didn't have a lot of high hopes for him last year, but then it looks like he put a lot of work into the summer or something, because he's got a 4.5-star potential rating That's massive. A school like Hawaii, you just don't really see that often. Of course, unless your coaches are lying to you, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of here. But I have huge hopes for Bernard Gilbert being somebody that can impact winning this year in a way that nobody was really able to do last year. And then we do have some depth at this position. Russ Hope and Kyle Penn, a couple of seniors, they're going to be gone next year, so we're really going to need a lot out of them and out of Bryan McInnis, the 3 senior wings that we have here surrounding our redshirt freshman Gilbert. And then you come down here, our big man rotation. It's very interesting. We have Willis and Morrissey, our man, Moro Morrissey, the hero out of, where's he at? Sacramento? Yeah, Capital Christian High School. He is a bad man. And I'm hoping that he's going to channel that on the court for us because we really need some physicality down low. You see he's got that cleanup role, or skill, I think, rather. So that's huge for us. And then Amari Charity. I think this season could kind of hinge on whether Charity is the player that I thought he was last year or whether he's just going to be somebody that kind of flops on that reputation, right? He was the one coming into last year that had the big potential rating. That's come down a little bit. I don't know if that's because we were wrong last year. Maybe we're wrong this year. I'm not sure. But Charity is the best defender on the team, and it's really not even close just when you look at ratings. And he has among the highest scoring ratings, too. And he's a versatile player that in this 1-3-1 zone, our Princeton offense, he is really the fulcrum on both ends. Center is huge for that Princeton offense, but on defense, your power forward really can be somebody who sets the tone on that back end. And on offense, I think he's going to be someone that we need to rely on as a pretty, not a reliable scorer, but we need him to pop off in a few games. So, checking out this rotation, and then we'll hop right into the game. This is what I ended up settling on. I know this looks a little wonky. Maybe some of you are going to look at this screen and cringe. But I don't really know who the best player on this team is. I think it's pretty clear looking at the roster that we just did, the roster screen. It's not very obvious which of these players is going to step up and actually show that they're worth the minutes. So I'm going to try to use this early period of the season to really flesh out this rotation, try out a few different lineup combinations, and just see what we got. If you focus on the right here, our 2 point guards, Craig Willis and Rick Tennell, 22 minutes and 18 minutes. You got Victor Willis and Moro Morrissey, 20 minutes apiece, right? So I'm really going to let them earn their spot in the starting lineup. We're starting with the Willis brothers in the starting rotation because they do have that experience. I think Craig Willis is a junior, Victor Willis is a senior. It might be a junior sophomore situation, but either way, they're both a little more experienced than their counterparts in Morrissey and Tennell. They both know the offense and the defense that we're running a lot better than the other guys do. So we're going to start out with these two and then hope that Morrissey and Tennell can pick up the system and maybe show that, hey, talent should win out. And I'm hoping they do, because I think if our season is going well, at the end of the year, Rick Tennell and Moro Morrissey will be in the starting lineup. That's my prediction. If things go well. That's the hope. I think if you see them in the starting lineup at the end of the year, that means that this plan worked. And then a lot of minutes for Bernard Gilbert. He's really the only one that I feel as though needs to be on the court for us to be successful. He's our best scorer. When you look at his ratings, he's got a 53 scoring. I'm pretty sure that's the highest rating on the team. Good outside shooter, great passer. He's a great defender, especially for his size. High steal rating, which is big for that 1-3-1 zone. And really, he's decent everywhere else, too. You don't see any glaring issues except for inside shooting, which, it's just simply not an issue for us, especially for somebody who does create so much of his shot, as an outside shooter as opposed to driving. So I really like what I see from Gilbert. And you see, he's, enough of an outside shooter, that 31%. Sometimes you see a player with a good outside shooting rating, but their floor range by percentage, their outside is like 10% or something. And you're begging them to shoot threes, and they just refuse to do it. So I don't think that's going to be the case with Gilbert. I really think he's going to be someone that can create his own shot and is going to be a centerpiece for this offense. So excited to see what we get out of him. And when you look at the way that I disperse these minutes, I really think a lot of our players should stay fresh. And that's big with a 1-3-1 zone, especially a high defensive intensity, which is what I'm going to have. I think we'll be able to force a lot of turnovers here and keep our guys relatively fresh here. The only ones that I have playing 8 minutes in a certain stretch. They all have high athleticism, which tends to lead to high fatigue ratings, or high stamina ratings, rather, so they're not going to fatigue as quickly. That's not a rating that we can see, but, it's a hidden rating that athleticism does have some role in. So I feel pretty good about the way this is going to go, and it's going to give us a lot of chances to see some different lineup combinations, which is really what my goal is here. Let's just see who actually deserves to be on the court with their other players that are performing well there. So in the chat, Bill mentioned practice and training is where the real work takes place. The games are just seeing the results of work and having fun, which I think is a pretty good point. The off-season really is where you butter your bread. I've said that multiple times in this stream. The off-season, the recruiting aspect, in practice, and trying to figure out what's going to work with your roster, trying to build that roster and recruiting. That's how you win. And the games, like Bill said, the games really are just the icing on the cake. The games is where you see, did it work? But there's small things you can do during the season, and we're going to start that process in this stream. And then Breeze, another OG, Bill and Breeze, you two, love seeing you in the chat, said even the Lakers are recruiting more players than Hawaii's recruiting against Jordan's school. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, so he's mentioning the beef that we have with Provo here. Provo's getting all of our players, and we can't seem to really get anybody. We have one recruit this year. I think Provo might have 2 or 3 alone. They do not deserve that many players, if I have anything to say about that. But we'll see. We'll see if the roster that we have now is enough for us to win. So let us go into our inbox here and just check out the scouting report for our first opponent, and that is Portland. Like I mentioned, I think I might have manually scheduled Portland. Love playing schools from the Pacific Northwest. That's where I'm from. That's where I live. So love that we're starting out with Portland here. And let's see what they think. This is interesting. So they give the advantage to Portland in a lot of different areas here. Looks like they have the better point guard. I'm not surprised about that. Said that they have the better power forward. I guess I'm not terribly surprised because Charity's ratings aren't super high, but we'll see how that plays out. And that they have the better bench. I'd be curious to see if that's true. I actually feel pretty good about our bench production. But, I guess we'll have to wait and see how the game plays out. And then they like our advantage at small forward with Bryan McInnis. He's not a big scorer, but he's kind of a do-everything guy there at the 3. So, hopefully that plays out in this game. Looks like they run a normal-paced offense and a good deal of offensive freedom. I love to see that because we are going to test them. We are going to force the other side to try to play through our ball-hawking defensive scheme. That 1-3-1 zone is known for forcing a lot of turnovers, making things really messy for the other side. So, that doesn't always work if the other side is diligent enough and can, run the right sets and take advantage of the areas where that zone is weak. But if they're going to try to run a lot of freelance offense, hey, I dare them to succeed. So I feel like we might have a chance to steal a W here, even though they only give us a 50% shot. And then on defense, looks like they press a little bit, but they mostly run man-to-man. So I think we should be well-positioned to score against them with our Princeton offense. But nothing really matters until you do it, right? So let's see how this goes. I have this set up right here, simmed all the way up to this first game. And let's just go ahead and hop right in. If you remember the last game that we played, the last game that we simmed did not go well at all. So, hoping that this goes a little better than that. And if you're looking at the screen and you're wondering, hey, what's up with that court? That doesn't really look like where Portland plays. I went a little custom here. I thought, hey, this is our stream. I can kind of do what I want with this Hawaii team. So I decided we're going to play all of our games, or at least until I can find a court that I like better, on the Hawaiian shootout court, which I really love. I love this fun, whimsical, you see the pineapples here, see a nice Hawaiian flower. I love it. It's going to feel like we're playing at home all season long, even though we're not. So, okay, let's get our settings how we want them to be. So, yeah, coaching options, I think we're fine there. I don't really think we need to do anything particular against any of these guys. This is Portland, right? Let's just kind of let the game go. And then enable auto sub. Yes, that sounds good. Pause it, all stops. No, thank you. We'll look at the halftime report, and we'll leave the sounds off there. And I think that's good for me. So maybe we'll start at an 8 speed, but I'm probably going to pick this up and go to a 9. So let's just see how this goes. So right off the bat, quick bucket from Gilbert, and I love to see that because Gilbert is the guy, as I've mentioned, that I think our entire offense is going to revolve around. So I'll be curious to see just how much we're able to take advantage of his scoring prowess. And I'm curious to see the two things I'm going to be looking for in this game. The number one thing is, can Gilbert step up as this scorer that I think he can be? And the number two thing is, how many turnovers can we force? Because I really think the success of this entire season is going to rely on, our ability to force turnovers and create easy opportunities. We don't have a lot of scorers that can create on their own. And when you look at the score right now, it looks like Portland does because they're up 11-6. Now it's 13-6. Not really the start that you'd like to see. They're shooting 100% from the field. So that's what happens sometimes when you do run, kind of a riskier zone like we do, is you get teams shooting very, very high percentages, but then they turn it over a lot, or they just kind of make, sloppy mistakes. But if they have a chance to shoot, a lot of times that's going in because they're getting really good open looks. So, but just like that now, we're up 6. We were up for a minute there, but nice little run by our team. Hawaii shooting 66% right now from the field. That's pretty nice to see. And it looks like McInnis is the guy who's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. 8 points for McInnis to start. He does not have a high scoring rating, so that's interesting to see. Looks like DET Tigers fan, new to the chat. Appreciate you hopping in here, Tigers fan. Says, so I'm relatively new to the DDS-CB series. How much do you typically work the refs? Is there ever much of a reason to? So that's a pretty good question. That's kind of a personal preference. I mean, I don't tend to work the refs a lot, just because I feel like that's really going to kind of set me up for failure. I haven't tested that setting a lot to know the optimal way to do it. But I think the situation that you would maybe do that is if your foul discrepancy is really far and you're just sort of throwing your hands up in the air and saying, if something doesn't change, we're going to lose. I tend to treat this shoot threes option the same way because that's sort of a drastic measure. That's not just shoot more outside shots. You would change this setting up here for that, but it's really like every time you're going down there, shoot a three. And so I'll press that at the end of the game if I'm down and I just need something to change. And that's the way that I look at the work refs and yell at refs thing too, is if I feel like things aren't going my way and something has to change, then you know what? I'll work the refs. Or I don't know if I've ever yelled at the refs. Some of that depends on your coach's temperament too, because if your coach's temperament is, he has a bad temper, I think that can sometimes backfire if you try to yell at the refs. So, Bill says, I mostly fast sim without coaching. Do not yell at the refs right away. You can work the refs a few times a half if you want. So, there you go. Bill's a veteran, so I would definitely take what he's saying to heart there. I don't tend to work the refs, but I also, I'm with Bill. I tend to do a lot of fast simming. So there's not really that many opportunities where I feel like I need to get super involved there. So looking back at this game, looks like both teams are shooting under 50% now. Bit of a turnover fest. They've got 4 turnovers. We've got 7 now. But this is a close game, in part because we're shooting 4 of 8 from 3, which I like to see. We have it on favor outside right now. We do have a lot of really good outside shooters, so I'll probably leave it at that. But that's something that I'm going to be eyeing as the season goes on, whether I should have that favor outside rating or whether I should go, even a little more aggressive than that, maybe heavy outside if it's going well, or if it's not, do more of a balanced approach. I think later in the year, once I start playing guys like Morrissey more, Morrissey's such a good inside scorer. If Morrissey becomes a bigger part of this team, I think we're going to want to do more focusing on inside scoring so that we're not wasting his potential there. It's still a close game. Neither side can really build any sort of separation. Both sides shooting 4 of 9 from 3, but they've really picked it up from the field, and that's what you see, with a lot of the teams that I'm coaching when I'm doing a 1-3-1 zone, is you'll see these big runs by both teams. You'll see a run by the other team when they're just everything's working on offense and we can't seem to shut anything down. And then we'll go on a run. We'll force a lot of turnovers, get some easy buckets, momentum will go our way. So this game could swing back and forth multiple times before it's all said and done. So I'm going to bump up the simming speed just a bit here. We'll get to halftime. We'll assess. We'll see what happens after halftime. I got kind of a wonky out of halftime rotation that I have set. So I think actually I might have Morrissey coming out as the starter out of the half. So let's look at our halftime impressions, see if there's anything that we want to change here. So the first thing I noticed is Bryan McInnis with a cool 5 of 7, 2 of 2 from 3, 12 points. And he seems to be one of the only starters where everything's going right. Him and Gilbert. Everybody else is a -7. So don't like to see that from the Willis brothers. They might be getting the yank out of the starting lineup here if they keep playing like that. But McInnis, I do really like to see that. And it doesn't look like anybody is turning it over too much. I mean, 2 turnovers each for these guys. But look, I can't be too hard on him for a couple of coughed up possessions. And then everybody else, everybody makes a mistake now and again. But I do like that the turnovers, 8 turnovers. You never really like to see that at halftime. But it's not as though there's one player with 4, right? So that's typically what I try to stay away from. And then let's see. Anybody else? Anything super notable? Craig Willis is 0 of 3, but let's give the guy time. It has been exactly 1/2 of basketball for the entire season. But him versus Tennell. Looks like they both played similar minutes. Neither one of them really stepping up here. But I do like that Craig Willis has 3 assists. So, and Victor Willis. Man, that is a strong performance with 7 rebounds at the half. It's going to end with a double-double. So that's good to see. Then Morrissey, getting just 5 minutes. Looks like he had 2 fouls quickly. But he did have 4 rebounds in 5 minutes, which is pretty impressive. And then you go on the other side. Is there anybody we need to focus on? This Brown kid. Maybe so. Who is this Brown? I don't know if it's going to tell us. He's 6 of 7. Hasn't taken a three-pointer. Hasn't taken a free throw attempt. But he is off to a hot start. So I'm not going to double him just yet. Especially because if you try to double somebody in a zone, that's really asking for trouble. But we'll keep my eye on that. And then look at this. Oh my goodness. Himes. This kid's got 10 assists at halftime. Jeez. Is he going pro out of the Portland Flyers? What is going on? Is he going to end with 20 assists? Man, so I guess that's what happens, right? We're giving him a bunch of easy buckets and a lot of assists to be had. But, all right, they're shooting 51% from the field. We're shooting 45%. I do love our outside shooting. I might even bump that up just a touch. But I think I'm going to wait a little bit, let our guys do their thing before we do that. So, looks like George Ivory ended the half of the 14-foot jump shot. I gotta be honest, I don't know who George Ivory is. I didn't realize that we had a George Ivory on the team. So, way to go, George. All right. So, yep, Morrissey is the starter coming out of the half, which I feel good about. And look at that. Just dunked it. So, that's exciting to see. Charity there making an 8-foot jump shot. So, we are, just back and forth. But look at that. Offensively, we're off to a hot start. Craig Willis hitting a 3, forced a turnover there. Morrissey making another layup. So I do really like what we're seeing from our offense. And if we could just force some more turnovers and get some easy opportunities here, that would be massive. But can't count on that because our offense really is kind of disjointed when you don't have a bunch of high-level scorers. So, all right. They hit a 3, and just like that, back-to-back threes from Portland. And now we're looking at a bit of a deficit here. But nice steal from Craig Willis, but he misses the jump shot. So, first steal of the game for Willis. Not really what you want to see from your starting point guard, especially when you need steals from them to really justify them playing. But, okay, our offense started out hot, but kind of slowing down a bit. I'm wondering if this is the time, especially we're already, halfway through the half. Is this the time where we kind of try to go heavy on the outside shot? I'm hesitant to do it. I don't really want to mess up our offense here, so I'm going to just leave it for now. But I'm ready to have a quick trigger in terms of hacking up threes. There we go. Tied game. Rick Tennell comes in here, dunks the ball, gets us tied. Oh, Victor Willis, though. Man, can't be turning it over at the center spot. That is where we cannot afford to have turnovers. But Morrissey is playing really well. He's already got 10 points off the bench, which we know he was in foul trouble early, so you do like to see that. And McInnis keeping it up with 14 points. This is a tight game. I was not sure what to expect in this first game with Hawaii, but this has been a thrill. Oh, but I wish we could just build a bit of a cushion here because I know any moment we could just give it all up. But it does look like we're holding our own on offense. But we're just giving up too many Too many easy three-point opportunities, which might be our undoing here. But I kind of want to get Morrissey involved. Maybe we go more balanced, but I like the way we're shooting the ball from 3, so I don't really want to mess with anything there. I think I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to slow this thing down near the end. Got just over 4 minutes left, so let's really see the way this plays out. All right. Missed shot down low. Who do we have in the game here? Looks like we got the starters, but Willis and Tennell are playing. I don't even think I have a lineup that suggests that, so the assistants are going rogue here. Oh, man, he missed an open shot there. There we go. 3 from Rick Tennell. Rick Tennell's only got 7 points, but he's got 2 huge buckets in this run. And I don't mind Tennell being in here in crunch time and really trying to prove that he deserves it. Especially with Craig Willis playing like that. Shooting a contested long 2. Come on. But they can't really get anything going offensively. They're struggling against this zone. Look at that. Dunk by Victor Willis. If we can just keep them off the three-point line. There we go. Huge rebound with 2 minutes left. We give it right back. Oh, easy. Easy layup. Wide open layup for them. We really need a smart offensive possession. There we go. Three-pointer from Gilbert. Gilbert finally heating up. I was expecting a much bigger game from him. He's 5 of 10, but that was a massive, massive bucket. Go up 4. Can we ice it here? 2 free throws from McInnis, the star of the game, to go up 6. As long as we don't give up a 3, I think we're going to win this game. Look at that. Transition dunk. I think that was out of an inbounds pass, too. They just sprinted down the court. And we forced the turnover. I think that was an offensive foul. Perfect. Perfect. 13 seconds left. I don't think they have enough time here. We're up 3. We're just passing it around. Free throws to ice it, and that is a win for your Hawaii Spartans. Man, what a game. What a game. What an opening win for the Spartans. I love to see that. All right. So let's see. Is it gonna pop up with a box score here, or am I going to have to... There we go. Okay, let's see this final box score here. That was an awesome game. That was a very strong performance down the stretch from the guys at Hawaii. So, end of game team stats here. We shot 50%. They shot 54%. They did turn it over 15 times. I mean, I guess that's how we're going to have to win. Forcing turnovers, and I'm not super concerned about this 54%. Like, that's what happens when you run an aggressive zone like I do, but I was hoping to see more than 15 turnovers. I know that sounds crazy, but, forcing 15 turnovers but allowing 54% is not really a recipe for success. But it did work for us in this game. We had 4 scorers in double digits, 3 in our starting lineup. And Mauro Morrissey, look at that. 12 points in 16 minutes off the bench. He had a -5 overall. I guess he had a really poor first half, but that second half was really impressive for Morrissey. Like to see that. And then Victor Willis, like we said, ended with a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds, shot 50% from the field. Him and Morrissey both playing really well. And in limited minutes, too. So I don't even really mind playing both these guys 20 minutes a game if that's how they're going to perform. So that's exciting to see. And then in the backcourt, really interesting battle. Craig Willis going 1 for 6, but he did finish with 5 assists to 2 turnovers. He missed a couple open shots, took a contested 2. That was rough, that I thought was going to really burn us. But Rick Tennell came in, saved the day, shooting 50%, 4 assists. But it's not like he was perfect either. And then McInnis and Gilbert, that backcourt that I feel like is going to have to carry us this year. McInnis absolutely held his own at the 3. Love to see that. And Gilbert finished respectable, 5 of 10, 12 points there. I think I like what we saw from Gilbert. A bit of a slow start, but he came around. So I'm feeling better about my offense than I thought I would, coming into this game. And then defensively, didn't really let anybody kill us individually. This guy had 18 points in 19 minutes, but he had some foul trouble. I think maybe we got a little lucky there that he didn't play a lot. And this dude finished with 15 assists, so that's unreal. But a win's a win. Happy to see that. I haven't seen a win in a while. Bill says, nice, good offense, except for some missed free throws. Defense needs some work. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that's how I'm feeling as well. And yeah, that free throw, 13 and 19, final mark from the charity stripe. Not great. Not exactly what you'd like to see. But they made him when they needed to, so that's all you can ask for. All right, what do you guys say? That was fun. You want to do another one? Let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and play and sim. Don't think we need to worry about anything recruiting-wise because we're out of money, so not really too concerned about that. And then, what do I want to sim to here? Guess I'll just like to just sim until our next game, but I don't think. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and. Oops, what am I doing here? Sim the day. And we will see. I think our next opponent, I think, is Charleston something or another, maybe. I think so. Go ahead and sim to that. You guys can see what's going on in the this world of Hawaii. Hawaii's really the only team that matters in this world to me, but look at that. Stephenville with a nice win over North Andover. Love to see Stephenville have success. All right, Charleston Southern. That's what I thought. So let's see. What do we have ahead of us in Charleston Southern? Looks like, let's view the report here. All right, so they like our chances. Maybe influenced by that win we just had, I'm not sure. But, man, they really like our chances. Look at that. So they think that the backcourt is a pretty dead even split there. Mario Edward is their best player. He's averaging 16 a game. That's better than we have from Gilbert, although I think Gilbert is better than what he's shown. And then they really like our chances across the board here at the 3, 4, 5 spots and the bench. I can't argue. You know, I really liked what I saw from Willis. Liked what I saw from McInnis. Charity, we'll see, I guess. Looks like they have a lot of offensive freedom too, so let's see if we can force some turnovers in this one. And they run a 1-2-2 zone, so this would be a really good test. Can we score against a zone? I think we can. You know, I have our offensive freedom pretty low. You know, really forcing them. Where is it at? Where do I have that set at? Oh, I think it's in a different screen. But yeah, not a lot of offensive freedom buckets, so we're an up-tempo team. I like that. Crash the boards a lot. High intensity. I think this all still works for us. And let's go zone defense all the time there. I don't know what's going on there. And then bump this up a little bit. I don't think I've messed with this since last year, but they really all apply for the way that I like to play. So, all right, let's hop into this game. We'll sim this second one, and then we'll call it a night. But Charleston Southern has to come into Hawaii. I don't know what we'll call it. We're going to come up with a nice nickname for where Hawaii plays. I don't know. Palm Tree Arena? The Hawaii Fieldhouse is what it's called, I guess. But I think we can do better than that. All right. Let's go ahead and go to tip-off here. Absolutely loving this court. And go back up to a 9 speed here for this first half. And just let things play out. So you got to remember, Mario Edward is the one that we are afraid of. Not Mario Edwards, who I believe was an athlete somewhere, sometime or another. But no, Mario Edward. Mario Edward is the man of the hour on the other side. So there we go. Quick bucket from Charity. Not sure if I love the mid-range shot there. He just missed another from 17 feet. But I do like that he's aggressive early in the game. So maybe this will be the Charity game. We'll see. Off to a 6-0 start against Charleston Southern. Maybe we just whoop them. I don't know. Maybe this is just the game where Hawaii comes out and says, hey, we are here to stay. Certainly not going to hear any arguments from me if that's the case. All right, so our offense, 4 of 8. Not really, it's fine. We're definitely better than this team. But look at that. They are 1 of 8. So it's better than that. Our defense finally coming around. Which is to be expected because they have a lot of high offensive freedom, so it's just not working out for them. But even when they're running this 1-3-1 zone offense, we are just meeting them everywhere, forcing another turnover there. So I like the way that our defense has stepped up after that really poor effort in the last one. It seems like they took it to heart how they played in that last game. Us being a little frustrated with them here. Even Bill, a little frustrated with them. So they heard you, Bill. They're playing a little better. 2 of 11, man. That is a hot start defensively. But we are 4 of 12, so unfortunately it's still a bit of a dogfight. And Ivory. Man, we got to get Ivory off the court. Our coaches keep playing him. But there's really no excuse to be ever playing Ivory. We have 2 competent bigs. So I might have to do something about that here. Probably not mid-game. I'll let the coaches do their thing. But after the game, I'll have to change the rotation and let them know, hey, Ivory is a persona non grata when it comes to in-game rotations. All right, 18-10. That's a nice lead. Better than what we had last time. We really had to fight for it the whole time. Oh, man, Charleston Southern's coach is getting really mad at the refs. Back to that point by a Detroit Tigers fan there about working the refs. Looks like the Charleston Southern coach is trying his hand at that, but it's not working. But they've got to the line 6 times. I don't know what he's complaining about. But here we go. Nice. Nice inside bucket there. Charity gets the dunk. It's his second bucket of the game. Mario Edward. He's got 5 of their 15 points here. But he's shooting... he's got 7, but he's shooting 3 of 6. So I feel like we are containing him. Man, we had a decent lead there, but I am worried that they're kind of just hanging around here. Things are working for them offensively, and they're not working for us offensively over the last 4 or 5 minutes or so. Because a 5-point game, it should not be that when the talent disparity, is as big as I think it is here. Yeah, shoot, they are a 3-pointer away from tying this thing up. Oh, they almost had it there. They attempted it, too. They wanted it. They wanted to bring the house down with a 3. Clutch free throws there from Blake Thompson just to give us a little bit of room, but... Oh, this is tight. We cannot go down at halftime to this team. We are so much better than them. There we go. There we go. All right, we're up 3, but that was a sweaty palms half. Okay, so what is going on? Why is George Ivory playing 6 minutes here? Okay, so Victor Willis had 2 fouls. Looked like Morrissey had 2 fouls. Okay, I get it. I guess coaches did what they had to do, but tough showing early from our big men. A lot of fouls. Sending them to the free throw line a bit. They're 7 of 11. They've basically a quarter of their points from the line, so we're going to have to stop just hacking at them down low. But look at this. Bryan McInnis. Plus 10, by far the best plus-minus of anybody on the team. And he's second on the team in scoring here. 5 points, nothing crazy. Really is a group effort. But Gilbert, again, being shut out in the first half. 0 of 2, look at that. So that's interesting. Gilbert is just not finding his touch offensively. But we're not really turning it over. Again, 7 turnovers, but most guys have none. Willis and Tennell both have 3, so neither one of them are making a great case that they're turnover averse, and Craig Willis just cannot make a shot. 1 of 5 after that 1 of 6 or 1 of 7 performance last game, so that's concerning. That's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. Everybody else is shooting okay, but Willis is really shooting us out of this game. So, okay, we forced 5 turnovers. That's not good enough, but we are holding them to 31%. So, not going to make too many adjustments here. I like what we're seeing defensively. Offensively, I don't know what we need to change. I think maybe even early on in this half, I'm going to do a little favor inside just to see if we can bully him down low. Especially with Morrissey in the game. There we go. We're up 9. Let's see. Once we get the ball here. There we go. Dunk from Charity on the fast break. Morrissey got the steal. Love to see that. And they are just passing it. This is going to be a shot clock violation if they're not careful. Okay, turnover on our end. So we just keep turning it over. We're up to 8 turnovers now. And that has really been killer. But nice shot there from Gilbert. First bucket of the game for him. And I think it's working for us to just hammer it inside. Seems like, there we go, we got a 3. So even though we're not focusing on outside shooting, it's converting 3-point buckets. Just that focus on the inside and the defense having to adjust. So I do like that. We're up 11. I think that might be our biggest lead of the game. But, Mario Edward is up to 20 points, and I think I know what that means. I think we double Mario Edward and see if they can handle it. because he is really the only guy on that team that's capable of doing anything. So, okay, they hit a 3 right off that double. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Edward had it. He passed it. Immediate 3. There we go. Forced a turnover. So they were able to handle it the first time, but seems like it's giving him some issues now. So if we can just keep Edward from beating us in this game. Yeah, shot clock violation. Man, they couldn't even get the shot off. Okay, we are just not scoring, but we are forcing turnovers at a rate that I am really pleased with now. So if we can just keep this lead here, keep them at bay, if we can stick around double digits, even just 7-8 points, just kind of hold them at arm's length here. Can you double team in a zone in this game, Bill asks? That's a good question. I guess I don't actually know if it works. I just sort of assume it does. I guess that's a question I can ask Gary, but that's what I try to do when somebody's scoring a lot. I mean, it seems to be working now, right? We doubled Mario Edward. He hasn't. I don't even think he's taken a shot attempt since. So every time he gets the ball, he does seem to be giving it up. So I think it works. I'm not sure. I sort of just envision that. There we go. As I say that, Edward scores. I envision it sort of as like a trap, right? Maybe it's not working, but if it's not, then no harm, no foul. Okay, I'm going to slow this thing down a little bit at the 4-minute mark. We're only up 6. This is danger time here, and they have the ball. Oh, but they turn it over. That's huge. Okay, we really need a bucket here. And Willis is in the game. There we go. Layup from Willis, beating his guy off the spot. And Edward is not having the performance that he was having through the first, 25 minutes or so. So we've really been able to shut him out. And that's what you need to do. Misses the shot. There you go. Yeah, that's one of the things that I do like about actually simming these games is if you see somebody on the other team that's really heating up, you have the opportunity to do something about it. Now, again, as Bill mentions, maybe I'm not actually doing something about it. Maybe it's a bit of a misnomer on my part to think that that's actually working. But that is one of the benefits of doing this in-game is if somebody on the other team is just cooking you, you don't have to find out at the end when you read the box score. You can actually take action in the moment. So we're up 10 in the final minute. I think this one's probably going to be a wrap, but that was a little scary there for a minute. I thought that they were going to come back there. Mario Edward was scoring 25 points, and all of our guys were missing shots, but we were able to adjust our offense a little bit, focus on some inside scoring. Clearly that worked. It's set up. Had a couple nice easy layups and dunks with Willis and Morrissey, but man, that 3 that Craig Willis hit was pretty big there to give us some breathing room, and then we kind of just took care of business from there, forcing some turnovers, and nice easy 10-point win. So let's check the stats there. Detroit Tigers fan says, so do the Wolverines have an advantage in this game since the studio is named after them? I will say, I don't have any confirmation on that, but I have had the same curious thought about maybe maybe Gary's favorite team in this game here has just just a 1% advantage maybe in terms of winning. But no, jokes aside, I don't think that's the case. But you never know. I mean, he's got some secret sauce in this engine, which is one of the fun parts about people who've been playing this game for 15 years or so. I mean, the game's been out forever. Different iterations of it. And it's still fun to play this thing because you never know what's going to happen. Really, it is a testament to the game engine, both for this game and the other basketball game and both the football games. Just the ability to keep people coming back with how strong these engines are, and how unpredictable some of these results are going to be. So Gary does have good taste in teams, though. He really does. Shout out to Gary for having a good fandom palette, if you will. So, all right, let's look at this here. Mario Edward, we knew he was going to be trouble coming into this game, and he was. 25 points, 9 of 17 shooting, but really, you look at outside of him, nobody could get anything going. They shot 39%. You take Edwards' total out of there, then they only shot, 13 of 39 there. So, I mean, that's pretty good, shooting 33% outside of their star player. Everybody in single digits outside of him. So I feel really good about what we were able to do there. Forced 15 turnovers again. I think last game was, can't remember if it was 15 or 6. I think it was 15. So back-to-back games there with 15 turnovers forced. And then you look on offense again. Bryan McInnis really earning his minutes. I do really like the way that he's playing. 12 points, plus 14 in the plus-minus department. Really just kind of the scoring there, but that's what we need from him, right? Nobody else was stepping up. Speaking of which, Craig Willis, another 2 for 9 game. That is brutal. That's brutal. I'm not going to yank him from the starting lineup just yet, but he's going to have to show more if he wants to keep his spot, especially with 4 turnovers there. Speaking of which, Tennell with 4 turnovers as well. 3 points, 1 of 4. Our point guards, we're not asking a lot from them in the scoring department. I know that, but I was hoping for a little bit more than that, so that's going to be something to watch. And then Morrissey, man, 13 points in 19 minutes off the bench. A little bit of foul trouble again, and he didn't hit the boards that hard, but he only had 19 minutes to do it. 6 of 9 shooting, really nice effort there. Love to see that. And then Victor Willis, 10 points, 6 rebounds, shooting, 55%. So through 2 games, really liked what we've seen from the big men. Haven't really liked what we've seen from the point guards. And then, McInnis and Gilbert, our 2 wings. McInnis has really won that battle. They're both in the starting lineup, so, it doesn't really matter. But I think maybe McInnis deserves some more minutes, if I do say so myself. He's really impressed me. I was not expecting much from him. In fact, he was kind of a reluctant addition to the starting lineup because I didn't see, I liked his ratings overall, but I didn't really see the one area where he was going to clearly impact the game. And it looks like it's the scoring department, which is pretty bizarre because I actually think his scoring rating, I think it's a 10. And that's not on a scale of 1 to 10, folks. That's a scale of 1 to 100. So I'm really surprised that he just goes to show, right? You can't always trust the ratings. Sometimes it is about a little bit more than that. Or maybe you're just not seeing the proper ratings. Maybe your coaches are not really giving you the information you need. So let's go ahead and sim this out, get up to the doorstep of our next game, and then we'll call that a night. But I'll make a quick adjustment here to the rotation while we're all here, while we're all chilling on the stream. Speaking of which, Bill's talking about good teams in the game, if any have any advantages. He said, I think Michigan State is usually better, referring to them versus Michigan. Other teams to watch out for: VCU, Gonzaga, Georgia Tech, Georgetown, Duke, and UNC. Obviously your mileage may vary on your game. Those teams may or may not be in your game, depending on what mod you're using. But yeah, he's right there that some of those classic high prestige teams, then some of those main mid-majors, those scrappy mid-majors, will tend to perform a little higher than you might expect. So, all right, let's check the emails. I don't think we're going to get anything too crazy here, but we'll close out the stream by checking the inbox. Hopefully there's no post-game incidents or anything like that. Really would hate to see that after a couple of wins, but nope. Looks like we're all set there. So let's go to the strategy screen. Let's go to the depth chart screen here. And I think our man McInnis has earned a few more minutes because he has been playing absolutely lights out. I think we can steal some from Gilbert because Gilbert has not been playing that well. And, McInnis, he's really giving us the best chance to win here. So I think maybe we just do it. I don't want to be too tired near the end of the game. Let's do it right there. That's a nice little spot. And then maybe we'll do it there. And then we'll swap this out. We'll have him here. We'll have him here. There we go. I like that. I like the way that looks. Now McInnis has the most minutes on the team. Everybody else is staying the same there. Took it from Gilbert. And I think we'll leave this the same with the centers and the point guards. But, I don't know. I might snatch a 2-minute period here from Craig Willis and give it to our man Rick Tennell because Willis has just not played well. But, he's only playing 22 minutes a game. It's not much we can take. So maybe we'll just leave it where it's at. But gonna need to see more from Willis. And we're gonna need to see a little more from Tennell. But those are really our only 2 options. Last thing that I want to do before we go is let's check how these guys are doing defensively. Because you can't really see that live in the game. You can see how they're doing offensively. But you got to come to stats page. Actually, it won't be in insights. It'll be under stats. And let's check their miscellaneous stats. Curious to see. Just early impressions. Don't read too much from this. But oh my goodness. That is alarming. So let's go stat totals. So we run a zone, so it can be kind of tough to really adequately measure a guy's impact here. But looks like Craig Willis has faced 8 drives, and he's only stopped 2 of them? Am I reading that correctly? That's unreal. And he's allowing, what is that, 2.5 points per shot faced? That can't be right. Is that real? Man, Craig Willis has just been garbage. He's been awful. Awful defensively. He's been awful on offense, turning it over every time he touches it, although so is Rick Tennell. Man, that is tough to see. And then you go down here, looks like Gilbert and Hope are both playing pretty well defensively. Charity, supposed to be our big defensive guy. He's faced a lot of shots, but he hasn't done a lot against it. And then look at that, Mauro Morrissey, the defensive anchor there. That's encouraging to see. So, I'll keep that in mind. Those are going to be a few things that are going to be on my radar. Can Craig Willis improve offensively and improve defensively? I mean, if he doesn't do it in the next few games, that's probably going to be a wrap for him. So, we'll see. We'll come back in this next episode. It's really going to be up to you guys on this next episode, what you want to see. Do you guys want to stream some more games? It's fun when we're winning, right? So, we'll continue the season this next episode. We can see, do you want to stream live? Do we want to do kind of a bigger segment of the season and sim it and then look at the insights from that? So I'll be curious to hear from you guys. Go ahead and reach out to me on social media or in the Discord or the forum or the easiest way for you to contact me, or let me know in the chat right now what you guys would like to see in next week's episode. But that'll do it for this week. Like I said, next week we'll be continuing the season in some form or fashion, and I'll get your guys' insights to see what you would be most interested in seeing from this Hawaii sim. I've got 4 things this time before we go. They are 4 big ones, 2 that you know and 2 that are new. 1, if you are not already subscribing to the Twitch channel, at this point I am taking it personally. Especially if you have an Amazon Prime account, because you get 1 free subscription on Twitch just by linking your Twitch and Amazon Prime account. So why not use it on us, right? It's free for you. It helps us out a lot. It helps out me. It helps out Gary. It helps out the entire team here at Wolverine Studios. So help support us. Let us know that you appreciate what we're doing, if you do appreciate what we're doing, and I certainly hope you do, by subscribing to us on Twitch. I've offered before, I will find you a timeshare in Hawaii. I understand in this economy that might be a little bit impractical. So, at the very least, well, you know what? I'll offer the timeshare or a ticket to Hawaii, or maybe I'll just do a little research on Hawaiian cuisine and let you know what meal you should make at home. Look at that! Detroit Tigers fans, subscribe with Prime. Let's go! Absolutely. Big fan of you, Detroit Tigers fan. I wish I could subscribe to you with Twitch. So, appreciate that. Reach out to me, Tigers fan, on either Twitter or Discord or wherever. I'm going to get you hooked up with something Hawaiian. So, we'll be working on that. Second thing here, everybody, don't forget to post about your teams and careers tomorrow. Hashtag Franchise Friday on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Discord, Slack, and the original forums on Wolverine Studios. We love seeing what's going on in your guys' careers. You guys are watching what we're doing in Hawaii here, picking up dubs left and right. Are you doing the same? Are you guys winning in your careers? Are you running into a tough losing streak? How are you doing on the recruiting trail? How was your recent draft? Have you won any championships recently? We want to hear about it all. So, hashtag Franchise Friday tomorrow across social media. Let us know what's going on in your careers. The third thing, the summer sale ends tonight. Up to 60% off across Wolverine Studios titles. So go ahead and check that out. It's exclusive on the website. The summer sale ends today, June 30th. If you're watching this on YouTube, hate to say it, but you missed the summer sale. So if you're watching on Twitch, though, you have, T-minus 3 hours, maybe 6 on the West Coast. Not sure if Gary's observing the Pacific time there for the sale, but I'm sure if you hopped in at 11:59 Pacific time, maybe he'd do you a solid. Don't quote me on that, but Gary is a nice and forgiving guy. So, and then the fourth thing, like I mentioned at the top, if you're joining us late, we started a new video series, Draft Day Academy. The first episode is live on YouTube, going step by step on what you should know when you're creating your new coach and association. So that's been in the works for a while. We've been working really hard on this series. We have more episodes planned, but I want to hear from you guys what episodes you would like to see. What do you want to see us make a video of? What do you want to know more about? What are you confused about? What's been ailing you? What are you just curious to hear more details about? I'm really excited to put these videos together. Like I said, this has been in the works for even a couple months now. So we're really excited to roll that out. First episode is on YouTube, so check that out. Support us. And please, feel free to comment. Share the link to that video. The more people that see stuff like that, the less intimidated they are to play this game and just sports sims in general. And everybody that's here that loves sports sims, I think we all feel like if more people knew about them, that they would be able to share kind of this same awesome experience that we've had. So please share that video. I know it's a shameless plug, but it really would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to Gary and the whole team. So check that out on YouTube and let us know what you think. And like I said, if you have any ideas for videos that you want to see, if you have any ideas for what you want to see in this stream, next week's episode and beyond, or you just want to chat about Wolverine Studios or Hawaii or NBA free agency, which is a pretty fun topic itself. Whatever you guys want to chat about, you know where to find me. On Twitch and Twitter, at CJacksonCowart, on our Discord server, or anywhere on the Wolverine Studios forums. Thank you all for watching. This was a really fun episode. I will see you next week, and thanks for watching.